My name is Jules. Refer to me with the pronouns that you use for yourself. I am the building coordinator and involved with a food justice program at Zion Community Commons in St. Paul in the Hamline-Midway neighborhood.
Beautiful. So what does urban agriculture mean to you?
I think to me it's about creativity and possibility. Like I see a lot of urban agriculture, like for example at the Zion Community Commons, the Commons is owned by Zion Lutheran Church and has been Zion Lutheran Church for over 100 years, but we have changed to become Zion Community Commons, a public space for the common good, with the idea of sharing this space and these resources in common, and that's included a transition from individual plots for different church members to anyone in the community being able to grow, to help kind of a collaborative garden which feeds into our food justice meal and grocery programs. So I think a lot of it, and what I see also here at the place that with the name that I'm forgetting, is that it's about imagining a new future for a place, and it's about kind of the alchemy of what happens when we come together and share our knowledge and experiences and vulnerabilities and learn together.
Can you say a little more about how the garden ties into the food justice initiatives through the church?
I think it, well, technically it means that we will accept donations of food, we also accept donations of plant starters or seeds, and sometimes that's just someone coming in and saying like, I ordered too many onion starts, and sometimes it's partnerships like with Community Homestead out on Osceola, or North Country Food Alliance is another example. Places who grow the starters and then have too many. Kind of similar to our work with food recovery, we will take the excess and give it the care and nurturing that it needs to live its life as something for the community and not just garbage and like extra that can be written off. So that it's kind of part of the story in that way. And then in terms of logistically how it happens, when we have time, we go out and we're growing the food and then harvesting, and usually it's a pretty small plot, so we are usually incorporating that into the meals, and it's not always a large bulk of the food, but it is often like part of the story about local food and about people growing into their abilities as growers and as people who exist in community, and kind of like the surprises you get from learning from the plants. Like I had a roommate give me a packet of like spicy salad mix, and then I'm a pretty new gardener, and to kind of make more space, I planted it in kind of like a zigzag, and then that like arugula mix has come back year after year, so it's fun to like see that little wiggle and be like, I'm different than I was a year ago, and I made that wiggle, and that wiggle is still going and still feeding my friends. And I think a lot of it is part of the project of empowering people into thinking of themselves as people who can like participate in their food growing.
So what are the supports that help to make that a reality and help the garden succeed?
I think a lot of it is just relationships. Meeting people at Renewing the Countryside events, or like just making connections and getting excited about the work that we're all doing. We're a pretty low resource garden, so we're kind of just doing what we can. But I think for me, learning about how our work fits into the larger space of like ideas that people are trying out around us is just a big help and encouragement.
So what are the things that would help in the future? What are maybe some goals or support that you are looking for, or even policy changes that would help the garden to do better?
I think something we are, as kind of our project of the Commons and the different food justice programs out of there grow, there is a lot of maybe urgency and maybe like difficulty in organizing kind of the passing on of like leadership and knowledge skills. I'm sorry, I just hit my mic. I think that kind of we've kind of ended up in a situation where there's a bottleneck of a few people who really know what's going on, and a lot of people who want to help and can help a little bit, but don't have enough knowledge to like step in and do the thing and kind of take that off of the people who know a lot of what's going on. And that's like an interpersonal.
What would be a goal looking into the future if you could wave a magic wand and make anything happen?
I would love to have like a group of people feel empowered and confident that it's like their garden and that it's like our garden. I would love to see more like vertical growing, and kind of like we're seeing here a lot of the like Desmond used a word for it, like the planting things together in the spaces. I forget what the word is. I think that one thing that's difficult because we're mostly using recovered plants is that it's difficult to like get the most out of our space. And like I think some like season extension stuff would be cool. Yeah, I think one of the challenges we kind of face is like limited administrative capability to limited administrative capability to like interface with a lot of these really great programs from like the city and the state and like independent organizations. And like we've met a lot of great people who want to help with that, and it's a lot of split attention. Yeah. And it can, I think in a situation like listening to I'm blanking on her name, but listening to people who work in organizations that already have like significant administrative capacity, like you have someone who is dedicated to looking for grants. We are kind of, if that's the direction we want to take in terms of like being more like grant and like city and state funded, making the hop into that and using volunteer hours to be able to be in that sort of like operating at that level or in that zone and that framework is difficult. And I think honestly we have a lot of ambivalent feelings about doing that, which leaves us sometimes maybe struggling to like find what capacity level is right for us.
All right, thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to say about urban agriculture and gardening? Perhaps there's a lesson you'd like people to understand that aren't doing it already?
I think that what our garden shows is that there's a lot of great, like, beautiful, like, planned and structured gardens, and you can grow stuff in the ground and have it be really meaningful for a lot of people. And I think that, like, maybe especially in like a community or urban setting, because it's more like public and collaborative, there can be like expectations or wanting to look good. Maybe that's just me, but it doesn't take much, and it's worth it.
Well said. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.